What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Greenville Living Experience. In today's video, we're diving into one of the biggest questions that potential residents ask, which is, do I rent or do I buy here in the Greenville area? Greenville is such a hot spot right now, y'all. People are flocking here because we keep getting recognized for having an amazing downtown, amazing parks, a great job outlook for job growth in the area. Greenville continues to grow. We have a lot of new construction coming into the area. We are getting recognized for our festivals and activities and things to do in the area. People want to live here. You probably want to live here if you're watching this video. But does that mean you should rent here, or does that mean you should buy here? And today, that's what this video is all about. I'm breaking down the pros and cons of renting versus buying, and we're going to talk specifically about what that looks like here in Greenville. First up, we're going to talk about renting here in the area. But before we jump into Greenville specifically, obviously some of the pros that you have with renting is that it's a great option for people that are new to the area and aren't ready for a long-term commitment. It's got a lot of flexibility when you rent a home or an apartment. So if you're someone that you're not sure of your long-term plans, maybe you're not planning to be in the area long-term, maybe you're not sure which area you want to live in yet, and you want to explore the area a little bit for a year or more, then renting can be a great option for flexibility purposes. Renting obviously does also have lower upfront costs than buying a home. A lot of times renting, you're just going to pay a security deposit and sometimes a month's rent, some application fees, but significantly less than the cost of actually buying the home. So if you're someone that you don't have a lot saved up or enough saved up for a down payment, then renting might be a good option. But something to remember is that there are loan products out there that can offer you as little as 0% down payment on a home to actually purchase the home up front. Most people think that I have to have 20% of the purchase price to buy a home, and that's actually not true. Depending on the loan product, you might get as little as 0 to 3.5% to be able to put down on the home, which can save you a lot of money versus having to save up and try and put 20% down. Because guess what? The majority of people don't have 20% to put down on a home purchase. And whatever lender you're using can help you determine which loan product is going to be best for you and your family. As your trusted real estate agent here in the Greenville area, I also have a list of vetted lenders that I have used in the past that I can provide to you so you know that you're in good hands when you're on the home journey process here in Greenville. And obviously the last and final big pro of renting is maintenance-free living, right? You are not in charge of keeping the maintenance of the exterior, or really most of the interior. If something breaks, the apartment or your landlord should fix it, and that's not a cost that you are incurring majority of the time. Obviously, versus if you are purchasing a home, you are going to have maintenance costs involved, and we're going to talk about how much you should budget for those maintenance costs a little later in the video. Now, the downside to renting is that you're pretty much throwing away money. Listen, y'all, I know interest rates right now, people are like, interest rates are so high. Well, guess what? Interest rates right now across the national average as of today, when I'm filming this, which is July 16th, 2024, interest rates across the nation are an average of about 6.9%. And I know you might be hearing that. Some of you might go, oh my God, that's so high, because a few years ago it was in the 3s. And I hate to break it to you, but we're not going to get back there. We might get a little lower than we are now in the next year or two, but we're not getting back down to the 3s. And guess what? Rent, that's 100% interest. You are paying every month to make someone else wealthy and build someone else's equity. Do you want to pay 100% interest, or do you want to pay 6.9% interest? I'm just saying. And obviously, another con with renting could be that you're gonna have potential rent increases. As we've seen, not only just here in Greenville, but across the nation, a lot of times rent increases year over year, just like home prices do. But most of the time when people are coming up on lease renewals, or rent is going to increase with that, which can put you over budget and force your hand to move. So at least with the majority of mortgages out there, and you're gonna have a steady mortgage rate that doesn't change. So you have more stability and security when it comes to your payments on the property. Now, it's recommended that you shouldn't spend more than 30% of your gross monthly income on rent and utilities. According to the United States Census Bureau, the median household income for the Greenville County area right now is a little over $71,000 a year. So if we break that down and do the math, Basically, if you're bringing in a household income of about $71,000 a year gross, then you shouldn't be spending more than about $1,800 on rent and utilities. And according to Zillow, right now our average monthly rent here in the Greenville area is $1,800 a month. So rent is right on par with what we're seeing with our median income rent should be. However, I do want to point out that average is across all bedrooms and all property types. So that number, that $1,800 a month number, could go up or down depending on if you were looking for a 1-bedroom apartment versus a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house. You might see some fluctuations from that $1,800 number. But across all property types and all bedrooms, your average rent for the Greenville area is about $1,800 a month. We're going to shift gears and look into buying a home in the Greenville area. Real estate is a long-term asset purchase. We tell people when you buy a home, you want to hold on to real estate for a long-term investment. You ideally would like to hold on to it for at least 5 years before you sell it. Now, obviously things happen. We don't always get to do that. But ideally, you're going to want to hold on to the home for at least 5 years to really see the growth in your equity that you're going to want to help you get a next home. Now, here in Greenville currently, we're seeing homes sit on the market for an average of about 42 days before they are going under contract. That means you as the buyer, that gives you more negotiation room to negotiate things like maybe you want seller paid closing costs. Maybe you want the seller to fix something on the inspection report. Maybe you want to negotiate the purchase price a little bit more. You're not having to offer way over asking to try and get the property anymore. We're just not in that market. You've gained a ton of leverage as a buyer over the last few years to help your negotiation process and to make this a better transaction for you. Now, our average home price here for Greenville County right now is about $375,000, but I know you're wondering, okay, well, $375,000, what does the mortgage payment look like on that? And with interest rates where they are right now in about that high 6 area, you're looking at about $2,250 a month for your mortgage. That number is an average. Please note that you should talk to your lender about your personal financial situation because that will go up or down depending on how much you have put down as a down payment, your credit status, your financial savings status. And so all of that can change. So you might get lucky and it might be lower, or you could be a little higher than that depending on your financial situation. That is why it is so important that before you start a home buying journey, you talk to a lender. Make sure you're pre-approved so you know exactly what your budget is and what you're looking for. Now, on top of that $2,250 a month mortgage payment, we have talked about, well, owning a house is a little bit more expensive, right? You're gonna have things like maintenance costs, insurance costs. And so it's recommended by insurance companies to save about a minimum of 1% of your home's purchase price for maintenance costs. So if you're purchasing a home at $375,000, 1% of that is $3,750. So ideally, you'd want to save about $4,000 to have in yearly maintenance expenses for a home from an insurance perspective. If we go to rent.com and we type in Greenville County and we look at what it's going to cost if you were to rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, we are looking specifically at single family homes. This does not include apartments, please keep that in mind. But we can see here that a lot of these homes for rent are right within that threshold of about $200 to $300, give or take either way, of your monthly expected mortgage payment. So if you are coming to the Greenville area and you're looking to rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, then you're gonna be paying pretty much the exact same as you would if you were buying a home and paying the mortgage yourself versus paying the mortgage for someone else. So my advice is, if you are someone that is in this area or interested in moving to this area, you know this is where you want to be long term, you've got the stability of your job and finances down, you are capable of buying a home, then my advice is to go ahead and buy a home and save yourself money in the long run. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, if you are not in a position where maybe your finances need a little bit more help, maybe you're not sure long term where you want to be, all of those things are going to point you more towards renting, and that's okay. Because guess what? Your home journey process will start someday. And when you're ready to start that, I'm here to help you. My job is to help you navigate the Greenville market so you make the best decision for you and your family. Whether you're looking to buy or rent in the area, feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.